This is WKYT This Morning.
Rise and shine and good morning. It's great to see you bright and early on your Tuesday, September 13th. I'm Andrea Walker.
I'm Bill Bryant. It is a beautiful morning out there, a great day to enjoy on your Tuesday. We have a lot of news going on right now.
Now at 6, the father of a Boyle County teenager speaks out following the murder of the teen's stepmother.
A Lexington restaurant employee has been robbed while taking a smoke break overnight. Police at that scene just ahead will have the latest as they're continuing right now to search for a suspect.
And more help is on the way for Lexington's ITT Tech students. Find out how just ahead on WKYT This Morning.
As we said, a beautiful start to this day. It's later in the week that we have some issues, but let's live for the moment, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you better, because once you hit the weekend, it doesn't look all that good. Yesterday was all right. We got to walk around the neighborhood, knock out a little walk here and there, and it didn't feel too bad, but you could feel it's getting a little bit warmer. Add a little bit moisture into that, and that humidity's creeping back in here just a bit. Live sky camera, there's your shot. Good morning to you guys. Hope everything's going well. If you're about to take off out the door, I don't see any problems whatsoever. We're sitting there at 57 degrees here in Lexington. We're at 54 as you work your way down I-64 corridor. Roll through Paris, North Middletown, all the way through Owingsville and Bath County, Sharpsburg. Good morning to you guys as you're heading northbound toward Flemingsburg. We're looking good anywhere you look. Now, maybe a little patchy fog here and there, especially across those waterways. We get into your afternoon. We're at 87 degrees, a much warmer day in store. We'll go over that forecast. We'll get into what we're going to be discussing there for your weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Micah, we'll see you very shortly. Thank you. In the news this morning, WKYT has been tracking this case for nearly 2 weeks. And now for the first time, we're hearing from the father of a Boyle County teenager who vanished after her stepmother was found murdered.
He has strong words about the case. Jenna Oakley went missing after her stepmother, Rhonda Oakley, was found dead in her home. Days later, police found Jenna and her boyfriend, Kenneth Nye, in New Mexico. Now Jenna's father is talking about the case. WKYT's Lauren Miner is at the live desk with the very latest. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, guys. Philip Oakley says his wife Rhonda made him a better person. She was his soulmate. Rhonda was murdered on September 1st in the family's home near Danville and found by her stepson when returning home from school. Kentucky State Police issued an alert for Philip Oakley's 15-year-old daughter Jenna, who was missing with her stepmother's car. Investigators say Jenna and her 20-year-old boyfriend Kenneth Nye were found in that stolen car September 3rd in New Mexico. New Mexico dispatchers referred to Jenna as a primary suspect in the homicide, but KSP has not publicly named any suspects. Philip Oakley spoke with WDRB in Louisville and told them in his mind he knows who did it and is still very angry.
What people say about Jenna, I don't care. Say, feel however you want about her, I don't care. You grow up and you have children, and you say you've got unconditional love for your children. Well, that's not true. That's not true.
The sheriff in Quay County, New Mexico, says KSP arrived in New Mexico on Monday to bring Jenna Oakley back to Kentucky, but there has been no confirmation from state police. Bill, Andrea, back to you.
All right, we'll stay on top of that case as it continues to unfold and develop, and people are being heard on the case.
It's been bizarre. Well, tense moments for a Lexington restaurant employee after police say she was robbed by a gunman.
This happened overnight. The victim works at IHOP on Palumbo Drive off New Circle Road, and WKYT's Mike Byer is live now with his crime alert as police are trying to solve it. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. The suspect who robbed an IHOP employee at gunpoint is still on the loose this morning. Police say the employee was out back of the restaurant just after 3 a.m. taking a smoke break when she was approached by a man. Now, police say that suspect pulled a gun on her and demanded money. The employee then handed over her personal hard-earned tip money to the thief, who then fled the scene on foot. Now, the description of the suspect is somewhat limited, but police say he's a skinny man standing at 5'7". They say he was wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. Police used a canine to try and track him down, but had no luck doing so. Now, although the employee was shaken up for obvious reasons, the good news is she was not hurt. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you very much. One of 3 teenagers charged in connection to the murder of another Mercer County teen is scheduled to be in court today. 16-year-old Trenton Easterling is being tried as an adult on charges of murder and robbery. Police say in April, Easterling shot 17-year-old Tristan Cole and left his body in a field. The other 2 teens charged in the case are accused of tampering with evidence. A Southern Kentucky man is facing charges this morning after state police say he shot the son of a police chief in Clinton County.
The shooting happened at a home on Wolf River Dock Road. That's not far from Dale Hollow Lake. Investigators say 53-year-old James Guffey, the son of Albany Police Chief Ernest Guffey, was shot during an argument. He later died at the hospital. Police have since arrested Travis Sloan for the shooting. He's charged with murder. The heroin epidemic is hitting central Kentucky hard, and now Lexington police officers are carrying Narcan. Police Chief Mark Barnard says he doesn't expect officers to use the potentially life-saving drug often. That's because EMS crews are usually first on the scene. But Barnard says he wants officers to be in a position to help.
The opiate addiction is showing everyone, not just a certain segment of a community, but everyone is being affected by this, just as it was in the past. So I think it's important to look at it and say, how can we help everyone in our community? And this is not the answer, but it's a helpful solution.
Lexington police say they devoted more than $20,000 in their budget for Narcan, and the city approved it.
And so many of our areas are dealing with this right now. Community leaders, healthcare providers, and law enforcement will all be on hand for a community forum in Rowan County tonight, and they'll discuss that county's ongoing drug epidemic. It comes after Moorhead police say their officers worked with Cincinnati police and the DEA to track down a source of heroin in Ohio. So far, they've made 1 arrest and recovered more than 50 grams of heroin intended to go to Moorhead. Officials say tonight's forum will not only focus on fighting the drug problem, but also focus on ways to solve it. It starts at 6 o'clock this evening at the Moorhead Conference Center.
Another Central Kentucky Police Department plans to give body cameras to each of its officers. The Cynthiana Police Department bought 20 body cameras. The police chief says the cameras will cost the city about $51,000 over a 5-year period. He says most of that cost is paying to store video from the cameras. Cynthiana city officials approved funding for the new body cameras last week. They have already been ordered. The police chiefs hope to have their officers trained with the body cameras and have them in use by the middle of next month.
And it's interesting, a lot of the cost of those is the storage cost.
That's
of
almost
video.
all the cost. He told me yesterday that actually the cameras are free. You're only paying for storage now, so it's interesting.
They have to go back, should they need that evidence. Well, the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education is reaching out to help ITT Tech students in Lexington.
They need it right now. ITT Tech closed its Lexington campus last week after the U.S. Department of Education banned ITT from enrolling new students who use federal financial aid. The Council on Post-Secondary Education is teaming up with BCTC to host an information session for students. The session is set to take place tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 at the BCTC Leestown campus in Lexington. The session will help students explore college options to continue their studies that they've already started. Information about financial aid will also be available.
We have a nice day going out there, and let's check weather. Here is Micah.
Yeah, it's beautiful outside. Very calm and pleasant weather as you walk out the door early this morning. If you're one of those like to get a little exercise early in the morning, leave your TVs on before you take off on WKYT. But take off and enjoy, man. It's really, really nice outside. 61 degrees there in the London-Corbin area. We head down toward Burnside Marina. All looks well as you work your way down into Pulaski County. 59 degrees. Go off toward Russell and Adair County. I'm not seeing any issues. Good morning to you guys, Columbia, Monticello, and all the way down to Pine Knot. Looking good. Williamsburg, no problems whatsoever. Maybe a little fog in some of these valley regions or over some of these waterways, but for the most part, we're just fine. High pressure system right over us once again, and that's funneling in that warmer air. The front to the north of us is a very weak front. You're not going to get much out of that. That actually comes tomorrow. That will give us that small chance of rain, but really the focus of today is just the temperatures. Get in toward 87 degrees later on this afternoon. We'll be in the mid to upper 80s today, and that's well above average. Average being right around 80 degrees. So it is going to be warmer, but nonetheless, it's going to be dry. Getting the kids out the door there for any of you teachers, yeah, it'll be just fine there heading out to the playground or even studying outside. Not a bad day in store. Tomorrow, small chance of rain. So some of you may get hit by a passing shower or thunderstorm, and that's going to be Wednesday and Friday. Those 2 days, small chances. Those are the only chances in the forecast the rest of the work week. But nonetheless, most of us stay dry. We're at 80 degrees. There you go by the end of time. A nice evening in store. And we travel in towards your weekend. Here comes that big cold front heading our direction. And that will bring in and pump in that moisture into the forecast. And that's what we're going to be dealing with as we head towards your weekend. So heads up Saturday. That will bring us that chance of rain. Your 7-day forecast, it looks like this. And it looks like we're going to be dealing with some pretty nice weather there in store the next few days. Heading off towards your weekend, Saturday, like I said, that's your best chance of rain. I do have a 60% chance of rain there in the forecast on Sunday. But for the most part, that's what we're going to be dealing there for the weekend. So just keep that in mind heading off towards your weekend, that you may have to have a plan B, Bill. That's just the way it's going to go. We did that last weekend, and that's the way it's going to go this weekend, too. So for the most part, it's not a bad rest of the work week. It's Wednesday and Friday with your best chance of rain, and best chance meaning 30%. Yep. It's not a great chance.
Right. Last weekend worked out, but it looks like the percentages are a little higher.
Little higher, yeah, there you go.
We'll keep watch on that. Thank you very much. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together right here. Now let's go out to Officer Don and see what's happening on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, no collisions on the circle, and we also just checked Man o' War from one end to the other. Okay, around the Hamburg area, and it looks like over to Versailles Road with no significant issues to deal with. Let's get a look outside. We'll show you what's happening as far as traffic flow is concerned this morning. No major issues inbound Nicholasville Road. Tate's Creek Road looks good, and as I said, so does a circle on the inner and outer loops. Drive times should be okay, still averaging less than 12 minutes or so from Nicholasville, coming in from Winchester in pretty good shape, and there's a live look courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government of Harrodsburg and Corporate Drive. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, still light traffic this morning. We know things will pick up very shortly. And
they always do.
Officer Don and Deanne are out there on 98 Won the Bull. When
Having
you get in your car,
a good time
you can listen
in the mornings.
up. That's
they
right.
Do.
Well, we are too, and we have a lot more news coming up for you on WKYT here on your Tuesday.
Stay with.
Hillary Clinton is off the campaign trail for a second day fighting pneumonia, and she's talking about her diagnosis, while Trump bashes Clinton for criticizing his supporters. I'm Hannah Daniels in New York. I'll have more on campaign 2016 coming up.
Also coming up, protesters rushed the stage after Ryan Lochte's first performance on Dancing with the Stars. The Olympic swimmers' reaction to that interruption on WKYT this morning. Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. Our time right now is 6:15, bright and early on your Tuesday. And this morning, Hillary Clinton remains off the campaign trail while fighting pneumonia and facing also some questions about transparency.
The Democratic nominee is talking about her diagnosis as rival Donald Trump continues to bash her for criticizing his supporters. Hannah Daniels has the latest on campaign 2016.
Hillary Clinton is trying to set the record straight about her pneumonia diagnosis.
I just didn't think it was going to be that big a deal.
The Democratic nominee has come under fire from Republicans and some Democrats for failing to disclose the condition immediately after receiving the diagnosis Friday.
Donald Trump's doctor said he'd be the healthiest president in history. That's just not even serious. And I've released nearly 40 years of tax returns. He hasn't released one.
Instead of focusing on Clinton's health, Donald Trump riled up supporters in North Carolina yesterday, reminding them Clinton referred to them as deplorable last week.
These are not deplorable people, that I can tell you.
The event was repeatedly interrupted by protesters who were escorted out. One Trump supporter could be seen scuffling with at least 3 demonstrators, including a woman. Clinton and Trump go head-to-head in their first presidential debate in less than 2 weeks. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Now here's the story that absolutely everyone is talking about this morning. 2 men were arrested after rushing the stage during Ryan Lochte's debut on ABC's Dancing with the Stars.
Strange situation. The 2 men were wearing anti-Lochte t-shirts when they rushed the stage while the Olympic swimmer was receiving his scores during last night's live premiere. Producers quickly cut to a commercial break. Police say it is unclear whether the men wanted to harm Lochte or what they wanted to do at all. After the show, Lochte said he felt a little hurt by the incident. Lochte has been criticized since claiming that he and 3 teammates were robbed at a gas station in Rio during last month's Olympics.
You know, I think producers are getting what they wanted. I think they knew this was going to be controversial to have him on the show, and, you know, here we are talking about it.
Sure enough, right?
Yeah, there it is.
So it's interesting. This will, I'm sure more will come out on this probably in the day ahead. Yeah.
Well, North Carolina continues to feel the effects of the controversial bathroom law.
The NCAA now plans to pull 7 championship events from the state this year due to the law, which critics say is discriminatory toward the transgender community. Events being relocated include the first 2 rounds of the men's Division I basketball tournament and the women's Division I soccer championships. The NCAA joins the NBA and a number of musicians who have decided to relocate events over the controversial law. Florida Governor Rick Scott is heading to Capitol Hill today to lobby for Zika funding. Yesterday, the president urged congressional leaders to provide more money to fight the virus and avert a government shutdown. President Obama says he is hopeful that both matters will be resolved in the coming weeks. Overseas, a temporary ceasefire in Syria continues to hold this morning. That ceasefire, which went into effect at sundown, is expected to allow for deliveries of humanitarian aid. U.S. officials hope it will eventually pave the way for an end to the country's bloody civil war.
The time now is 6:19 on your Tuesday. Thanks for watching WKYT. Well, in a sign of things to come, Walmart has applied for a patent for self-driving shopping carts that customers can now hail. According to the filing, carts will come equipped with motors and video cameras and can be programmed to return from the parking lot or in store to a docking station when not in use. Walmart issued no comment on the filing. Struggling teen clothing retailer Aeropostale has earned a new lease on life. A judge has approved a bankruptcy deal that would allow Aeropostale to keep about 230 of its stores open. 2 mall operators, Simon and General Growth, agreed to keep those stores open as part of a $234 million bid for the company. Aeropostale filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy back in May. At the time, about 800 stores were open. The retailer plans to continue running closing sales at all of their stores, even though some will remain open. And Burger King is playing chicken with its customers, well, sort of. The fast food giant is adding Cheetos to its classic chicken fries for a limited time. Cheeto chicken fries go on sale tomorrow at participating restaurants. It's not the first time Burger King and Cheetos have teamed up. In June, the team came out with mac and Cheetos, basically fried macaroni and cheese poppers with Cheetos signature dust. You gotta love it. It gets everywhere, but it's good.
Oh, I'm sure it's good. That's interesting. Yeah, it's a matter of whether you want to add that into your diet, right? So we'll see what happens. These restaurants, they come out with these things and they go away and they come back. All right, time this morning coming up on 6:21. Hey, we're just getting started with all the latest news on WKYT. A Michigan driver was front row for a prisoner making a dash for freedom. See how all that played out just ahead.
Live sky camera showing a beautiful look outside early this morning. We are going to be seeing some changes in the forecast. I'll show you what you can expect out of that. Rest of the work week. That's coming up next.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. The time now is 6:24 on your Tuesday. Well, the husband of a murdered Boyle County woman is speaking out about his wife's death.
That's what's trending at this hour here at WKYT News. Philip Oakley says he is devastated by his wife Rhonda Oakley's death, saying whoever is responsible are, quote, monsters. Police say Rhonda Oakley was found murdered on September 1st in the family's home near Danville. Let's get a quick check of weather. A nice start to your Tuesday. Here's Micah.
Well, if you're about to walk out the door, here's the good news. I mean, outside it feels great once again today. Live sky camera. It's still one of those days. Look, we're getting into that pattern where the morning hours you're going, yeah, it's a little cool outside. And then the afternoons you're going, yeah, it's pretty hot. So you don't really know what to wear once we slide off into the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's just the way it's going to go, but that's why I'm here with you. It looks good this morning, 50s and 60s outside early this morning, and we walk out the door. Like I said, it's a great feel. Very calm weather in towards your afternoon, pleasant conditions, 87 degrees. It is getting warmer, and typically that leads to some rain, at least some, in which we have that in your forecast, in your 7-day forecast at least. A weekend is definitely active. There's no doubt about it. That's your best chance at seeing showers and thunderstorms. Now, it's going to be fairly quiet, though, as we head throughout your work week. There still are small chances in there. We're going to be looking at that 7-day forecast. We're going to be going over that coming up in just about 5 minutes.
Okay, so we're talking about a quiet week. You work through the week, and then he says active weekend, but it really means with rain, you might have to not be out. So,
Right, so
there you
figure
go.
it out for yourself.
Yeah, there you go. All right, here's one of those interesting
Yes.
stories we like to show you this time of morning. If you're afraid of heights, this story might turn your stomach some.
Yeah, no, not for me. A dance group from the United States delighted tourists by performing vertical dances on a cliff in central China. Performing over 4,000 feet in the air, safety ropes allowed the dancers to perform various motions perpendicular to the cliff, which is just not natural. Tourists visiting the mountain were left in absolute awe of the performance, though. I mean, it is cool, but you couldn't pay me enough to do that.
Well, yesterday was guys up on a
Right,
building.
that picture.
Remember that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now this.
4,000 feet in the air.
All right.
You know, to
Okay,
each his
that's
own.
what not to do on Tuesday.
Now imagine the shock of driving behind a police van when out of nowhere the back door swings open and a prisoner jumps out.
Well, that's what happened to a woman in Milwaukee. Take a look. She captured this suspect escaping police custody while sitting at a traffic light. Police say the 17-year-old managed to get the van door open and take off running while still wearing his handcuffs. There he goes. At this time, police say they're still searching for the suspect who was arrested for stealing a car originally. So,
He was running fast, buddy.
Yeah, wait, let's see him one more time. There's
Out of there.
He bolts for it. Yeah.
He really, yeah.
All right. Well, as the police say, he'll turn up.
Yes. They always kind of do, don't they?
Don't they, though? Good to have you on WKYT this morning as we are rolling towards 6:30 and our top stories.
Ryan Lochte is trending on social media this morning following an altercation during his debut on Dancing with the Stars. More on that incident coming up at 6:30.
Yeah, that story developing right now. Also this morning, we want to remind you that tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $122 million and it's $222 million on the Mega Millions. Back with more on WKYT.